You ever wonder why a government can announce some amazing new policy, like free education for everyone, but then just completely fails to make it happen? Well, a lot of the time, it's not about bad intentions. It's actually about bad plumbing, the digital plumbing that manages a country's money. So today, we're going to dive into this hidden, high-stakes world of public finance.
Okay, so think about it. Managing a country's finances is just a monumental task. Every single cent, from a soldier's paycheck to the paper for a government printer, has to be tracked. And the system that does all this, well, that's the government's digital nervous system. When it works, you don't even know it's there. It's invisible. But oh, when it fails, the entire country feels the pain.
So just how big of a difference are we talking about here? Just look at this. On the left, you've got the old manual nightmare. A company delivers textbooks and the invoice just sits on someone's desk for like 3 months. Then the payment voucher gets lost, and maybe 6 months later, an accountant finally gets around to recording the expense. It is pure chaos. Now, look at the right. With a modern system, everything, the purchase order, the invoice, the payment, it's all linked up digitally. The second a payment goes out, the national accounts are updated instantly. That's the world of difference we're talking about.
And that modern solution has a name. It's called an IFMS, which stands for Integrated Financial Management Information System. The best way to think about it is as the brain and the central nervous system for all of a country's public money. It's not just a piece of software. It's this incredibly powerful tool that connects every single part of the government, making sure everyone is working from the exact same set of numbers, all in real time. So what does an IFMS actually do? Well, it boils down to two absolutely crucial things. First, it enforces what's called fiscal discipline. The system has the budget literally hard-coded into its DNA. So a government department literally cannot spend money it doesn't have. The computer just says no. And second, it improves allocative efficiency. Because managers can see spending data in real time, they can make much, much smarter decisions about where the money really needs to go. All right, so once the government decides, okay, we need this digital nervous system, it hits a massive, multi-million-dollar crossroads. And this, right here, is where our story gets really, really interesting. And the question is this: do you go out and buy a world-class, ready-made system from one of the global tech giants? Or do you take a huge risk and try to build your very own system from the ground up? This one decision can literally shape a nation's finances for decades to come. Now, check out how this slide lays out the trade-offs. It's fascinating. If you buy what's called a COTS, that's a commercial off-the-shelf system, sure, you get vendor support and global best practices, but the downsides are huge. Massive licensing fees, year after year. And the system is often way too complicated for the local staff to even use properly. Now, on the other hand, if you build it yourself, it's perfectly tailored to your country's laws, you build up amazing local IT talent, and guess what? No license fees. The big risk, though, your key developers could just get a better offer and leave, and the whole project could collapse. So to see how this plays out in the real world, let's turn to our first case study, Rwanda. This is an incredible story of a country that, after facing an unimaginable tragedy, chose a path of radical self-reliance for its digital future. So after the 1994 genocide, Rwanda basically had to rebuild its entire government from scratch. At first, international donors pushed these expensive, off-the-shelf systems on them, but those early attempts failed. They were just too complex and way too costly. So the Ministry of Finance made an incredibly bold choice. They were going to build their own, using local Rwandan developers. And the result was a system called SmartFMS. And you know what the secret to their success was? This simple but really powerful philosophy. They didn't try to copy some global template. Instead, they designed SmartFMS based on the exact day-to-day workflow of a regular Rwandan accountant. They built the system for their people, not the other way around. And this is just a brilliant illustration of their approach. They hard-coded a basic accounting rule right into the system using this clever little acronym. DEAD stands for Debits are Expenses, Assets, or Drawings. CLIC means Credits are Liabilities, Income, or Capital. By building this logic right into the software, they made it almost impossible for an accountant to make a fundamental mistake. It's so simple, but it's genius. And the results? Well, they really speak for themselves. You can see it right here on this chart. Rwanda spends just a tiny fraction on software licenses compared to its neighbors who bought those expensive commercial systems. And maybe even more important than the money, they have complete data sovereignty. If a tax law changes tomorrow, their own team can update the code over the weekend. They don't have to pay some foreign consultant millions of dollars for a simple change. Okay, Now let's shift gears and look at our second case study, which paints a very, very different picture. The Philippines has been on its own digitization journey, but it's facing a unique challenge that's been called the problem of digital islands. So instead of one single unified system, the country has what's known as an alphabet soup of different systems. You see, different agencies built or bought different software at different times, and the result is this messy, fragmented landscape. And here are just some of those islands. You've got the e-budget system for planning, then the ENGS system for accounting, the BTMS for the treasury. Each one is its own separate digital world. The problem isn't a lack of technology, it's a lack of connection between them. And here's the crucial point. These systems don't talk to each other. So imagine the budget department releases funds in their e-budget system. Well, an accountant at another agency then has to manually retype all of that information into the ENGAS system. The consequence? Massive delays, and the national government can't get a real-time picture of its total cash situation because all the data is trapped in these separate, siloed databases. So what we have here are two very different stories, one of unified in-house success and one of fragmented challenges. It really begs the question, what is the ultimate factor that determines whether these massive projects succeed or fail? The answer? It might surprise you. It turns out it's not really about the technology at all. It's about the people. In Rwanda, the key ingredient was immense political will coming from the very top. In the Philippines, the challenges are often more cultural. You have resistance to change from staff who are just comfortable with the old paper-based ways. And then you have the practical reality of poor internet in remote provinces. The human factor trumps the tech every single time. And nothing, I mean nothing, captures the essence of that political whirl better than this quote from Rwanda's Minister of Finance. This wasn't a suggestion. This was a direct mandate. There was no alternative. Everyone had to use the new system for any payment to be considered valid. And that single, non-negotiable rule is what drove adoption and made sure the system became the one source of truth for the entire country. So let's bring it all back to you. Imagine you're the governor of a province. A big tech company comes in and offers you a shiny new system for 500 million pesos. But your local IT team, they swear they can build you a custom one for just 50 million, but it's going to take 2 years. After everything we've seen, what do you choose? The safe, expensive bet, or the risky, sovereign pass? The right answer isn't just about code. It's about culture, it's about will, and it's about the kind of future you want to build.